It's been almost a year since I've done a review of a Kia EV6 GT line, and that was right here at Gettle Kia of Bradenton, Florida. I remember being excited and impressed with this vehicle, but I was lacking some of the performance that I could find on other electric vehicles. So, well, be careful what you wish for. We asked and Kia delivered. Now, this is a GT, a 575 horsepower electric vehicle from Kia that gets this vehicle 3.2 seconds, 0 to 60. Now, I'm excited to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle, starting from the exterior, interior, and the test drive. And if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt, and I post automotive content here on Matt the Carguy twice a week. If that's something that interests you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And now let's get back to this. I've always liked the way that the EV6 were designed, and especially on the GT line. You can see that it is a sporty vehicle. Love this big indent in the middle of the hood, creating that better airflow. Big Kia logo right here. You have this trim piece that it's in piano black with the front view camera and those huge lights, right? They have the LED lights in the middle. You have the amber turn signals also in LED at the top, and the daytime running lights at the bottom. And as you scroll down, you have this more aggressive styling of this front bumper. Now, this is just a design element, but there's some open spaces in the middle, again creating that better airflow. You also have this piano black splitter right at the bottom to keep this vehicle grounded. Now let's see if we can pop this trunk and see if there's anything there. Take a look underneath the hood and see what we'll find. First of all, the hood is held up nice and tall by this struts on both sides. You have some insulation right on the hood. I'm not sure if this is more for noise or heat. And then right here, you almost get fooled, right? If it wasn't for that EV sign, you'd think that you're looking at the engine cover, right? But no, that thing actually opens up, revealing, unfortunately, the only cargo space that you have underneath here. So not much room here, definitely less than the Model Y from Tesla or the Mach-E from Ford. But you do have access to some of the fluid, so you have your windshield washer fluid. I believe this is your coolant fluid. Then you also have your fuses and the brake fluid here as well. Now, as far as the performance, 576 horsepower, 445 foot-pounds of torque, 3.2 seconds, 0 to 60, which is insane on the Kia. Is it an SUV? Is it a CUV? Is it a hatchback or a station wagon? I'm not even sure where this should compete at. But let's take a look at the design. I like it. It's stylish. It's sporty. I love this part right here. This is all piano black around the windows, that creating this floating roof design. And then see, that continues right all the way through to the back. Also, the piano black are the mirrors, and that includes the turn signal, the rear view camera, or actually the side camera, as well as the blind spot assist. Wheel and tire setup. You get 21-inch wheels, standard equipment on the GT Kia EV6, as well as you get those neon green 4-piston calipers, 15-inch rotors, and of course this is dressed up in the Goodyear Eagle F1 summer tires, 255 by 40. This is the size of it, so you need that extra grip while driving a performance vehicle. I also like this trim alongside the bottom of these doors that kind of raises up and continues, almost like finishes up in those taillights. But I'm not sure about the door handles, kind of halfway sticking out. I don't know how functional it is. It's definitely not super convenient way of opening it, but remember the Mach-E that also has this weird kind of setup as far as opening? I guess this is a trademark of electric SUVs. Now let's walk around the back. I'll show you the rest of it. I like the design right here in the back. First of all, if you look in here, you can see how much thicker it is in the back hips over here. Very nice and aggressive. You also have this very unique gate spoiler with the air pass-throughs, and then a spoiler that's kind of built in. This light right here creates this spoiler on the deck lid. Very nice and aerodynamic. As you can see, this is all LED. They glow in the dark. You have the blinkers blinking, and the bottom portion right here, this is the smoked chrome trim, creating this reflection from the top light. Looks absolutely amazing at night. So Kia logo EV6 and the GT on this side, and then down here you have the reflector lights, the reverse lights, and a very nice design of the bottom portion of this bumper. Now this is where your charger is, so you can open this up, charge it up. As far as the charging time, okay, Kia has it on their website. I remember two things. The first one, that if you plug it into a regular household outlet from 10 to 100, it's gonna take you 68 hours. This is just on your regular household 110 volt outlet. But the fastest one, using the DC fast charger with the 800 volt architecture, will get you from 10 to about 80% in about 19 minutes or so. So this is a lot quicker than some of the other competitors as far as charging. You can also actually plug in a device here that will allow you to plug up your campground or anything like this. It's actually inside of your, let me see if I can find it. Now, this is all power as far as the gate opening. So let's pop this open. Let's see how much room we have. So check it out, guys. I found this device that I was telling you about. This is basically what it looks like part of the charger, right? But actually you plug this in to your outlet over here, and then you have the outlet down at the bottom. So if you want to power up some of the electronics that you have, you can definitely draw power from this, and you turn it on or you turn it off however you want it. You can take it out, but if you keep it there for a little bit longer, it locks, and it won't allow you to take it out of this charging point until you hit the unlock on your remote. This is a safety feature. Now, here's the roominess that we have in the back. Now, one thing to mention, that it's only 60 kilograms or 130 pounds load capacity, so don't put anything heavy inside of the back. The seats do fold down, so you have the 60-40 split, and you do that by pulling on the levers in the cargo compartment, which is really, really nice. And now let's jump inside. I'll show you the rest of it. So as far as roominess in the back seat, there's quite a bit of it. I have about 2 inches above my head, plenty of shoulder room, plenty of knee room. The only place that I would like to see a little bit more room is in the footwells, so my feet can slide underneath this front seat, which that's the only issue. Not bad at all. The interior is nice and premium. Let me show it to you. And we're going to start right at the rear door panel. So you have some hard plastic right on top of your piano black polished aluminum trim. One speaker covered, and the bottom is branded with Meridian sound. As far as the stereo, you have this micro suede looking trim on the inside and padded armrest, and you have the piano black trim surrounding the window controls and the controls for the outboard rear heated seats. A little bit more storage down at the bottom of the door, and then let's jump inside of here. So first of all, you can see the back of the front seats. Nice, sporty, almost like race seats. What's also important to mention, that you have the vents right on the columns in here, the pillars, and then these are the seats. Love the way they look. Actually, what first thing that pops is the neon green contrast stitching. Very nice and very sporty. Now, this looks like the suede, but I think this is a man-made material. Now, in the middle here, you have the console that you can open it up with the cup holders or just a regular storage. Fold it up, and then flat floor down at the bottom. You have 2 USB Type-C ports. No vents in the middle because you have them on the sides. And this is the interior in the back. Before we jump inside, let me show you these door handles first. So when you come up and you have the key in your pocket, all you have to do is press on it. It will open up like kind of halfway as such. And there's a little exposed keyhole underneath in case you run out of battery. But then you pull on it, and that's how you open the door. Let's close it. Boom, nice and solid. And let's take a look what we have here. So this is your front door panel, and then you of course have your window mirror lock controls, as well as the door handle Meridian surround sound speaker. A little bit more storage down here, and then check this out. Well, before we take a look at the seats, take a look at the pedals right here, sporty car pedals. Now this white trim is actually a sticker, and then behind it is aluminum pedals with the rubber stubs on it to prevent your feet from slipping. On the left hand side of the steering wheel you have the controls for the brightness, and then you can have your charging port, you can open your rear gate, electronic parking brake, and traction control. And right here underneath this floating console you have plethora of space to put whatever you want in there. There's also chargers upon chargers. You have the regular USB-C down at the top right here, then another USB-C, and the 12-volt power outlet, as well as roominess to put whatever you want. Now take a look at these seats. Is that crazy or what? These are like from race car, so very nice. They'll hold you in place. They're manual adjustment seats, so there are no power seats in the front. GT right inside of this trim, and they look good. They're actually not very uncomfortable. Pretty cool. Well, let's take a look at the interior of this EV6 GT. Love the styling of it. Let me give you a close-up of this trim piece. I'm not even sure of what it's called, but it's different colors, different textures right over here. You also have the GT badge on the right-hand side. And I like these vents over here, kind of nicely incorporated in the rest of this vehicle. I believe they also have some ambient lighting, which you can't really see in this light, but they illuminate at night. You have two 12.3-inch screens, one for the instrument cluster, one for the infotainment system. And let's check out this steering wheel right here. Flat at the bottom, nice and sporty. Kia right in the middle. Now this is the green button, so you don't miss it. This is the GT button that unleashes the power on this vehicle, different drive modes. That's the selector for it. Now on the left hand side you have the cruise control, dynamic cruise control. You have the menu options for what's going on in the instrument cluster, as well as the lane keep assist. On the right hand side you have two customizable buttons, which is mode and the start button. You also have the voice control, phone button, and volume. In the back you see the regen buttons that controls your regenerative back to the battery. And now if you take a look at this instrument cluster, you can see the range is 185 miles right now, and we're almost fully charged, about 93%. So the full range on this vehicle is 206 miles, which falls short of some of the competitors, but you also get a lot more power, so it kind of, you give or take a little bit. Now on the left hand side you have the speedometer, then you have the power on the right hand side, and then up on top you have different menu options. So once I click that menu button, you can see here's your trip, here's your compass / navigation info as far as where the power is going to, and then back to your main screen. So down at the bottom you can see we're 90 degrees outside, and this vehicle is brand new, 93% charged. Level 2 charging, I think that's what it was last used. You also have your head-up display, which is going to be impossible to see, but I can see my speedometer and the lane keep assist. Now we're moving back to this infotainment system, and this is a touch screen, so you can move it to the main menu. Now this is the system that we've seen at other Kias, but I like this interface. It's completely different as far as the colors, and we have the EV button, so let's press it and let's see what this is. So we have the public charging station that just gives you the closest one, 1.1 miles away, and we have the fan on. 185 miles is the current range, and if I turn the fan off, it tells me that I can extend my range to 199. But with 90 degrees outside, I'll be boiling in here. Now let's go back in here. So you have your map button, and this is beautiful, takes up the entire screen. Navigation, phone projection. Now you still have to use the cable to connect to the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You have the voice menu button that allows you to record a short recording instead of writing it down. Here's your climate control as far as the settings. Now can we adjust it through here? Yep, so you can adjust the temperature through here. I'll show you another way in just a bit, and then you can turn on or off any of these functions that are selected right now. So all of them are on. And then going back here, you have a valet mode, quiet mode that limits the radio output speakers, HD, radio data, radio. Let's see what we have. So we have the Sirius XM. We also have the AM and FM. Here's your setup button. Again, all of the options that you can play around with. This is your customizable button. So we have the one on the navigation, which is actually at the bottom on the steering wheel, mode button on the steering wheel, up and down buttons on the steering wheel, and volume and tune knob that can be switched from right to left or from left to right. And let's go back to the main menu. On the last screen here is your media, Kia Connect notifications, and user's manual. So a pretty nice system. Let's put it in reverse. Let's see that rear view camera. And there you go. You have a really nice quality camera. You have the top-down view on the right-hand side and the regular rear view camera, which you can select several different angles from here. You also have the side cameras right here, and then this, which allows you to spin this vehicle around to see what's around you. Of course, your settings, parking distance warning, top view parking lanes, you can turn those on or off. I like to have them on just because, you know, you want to see if you're going to hit something or not, especially from this perspective. So both front and rear trajectory lines, really nice. That's your rear view camera. And now scrolling down here, you have this pretty cool screen that right now is set up for your radio control. So this is your volume and power button. You also have your front window defogger, rear window defroster, auto climate control, and then you have your shortcuts as far as the map, navigation, your custom button, seek, track, radio, media, and setup, and then of course file and tune. By the way, those are the two buttons that you can switch the function. You can make this a volume and power knob if you wanted to, and file and tune on this side. But what's also cool about it is hit this button right here, and that turns into your climate control menu. So you have your temperature, and this is how you can adjust your temperature. Dual zone, of course, you have the separate on the passenger, separate on the driver's side, and all kinds of shortcuts for your climate control. Now, right on top of this floating console over here, you have your heated seats and the heated steering wheel, and this is where you turn on your buttons. So you have your power button for the EV. Here's your gear selector. And then you have your park assist, auto hold as far as the brakes, and then you have your parking sensors that you can turn on or off, cup holders, wireless charger, a bit more storage in this console. Then scrolling up to the mirror, you have the home link buttons at the bottom of the mirror. You also have your LED lights, illuminated mirrors. This is your illumination separate right here for the driver and passenger. And you have the regular sunroof. Now half of the roof is painted in this black color that makes it look like it is a panoramic sunroof. Well, this is all you got. Just really what you need, right? Lots of light getting inside of this cabin. It looks wonderful, but what I'm really curious about is how this vehicle drives. So let's take it on the road. The vehicle is running. I'm ready to take it for a spin. Before we do that, let's talk about the different trim levels available for the Kia EV6. Starting with the light rear-wheel drive, 42.6 is the MSRP. Wind is the second from the bottom. That starts at 48.7. Wind with all-wheel drive, 52.6. GT line with 52.9. GT line with the all-wheel drive, 57.6, and of course the most expensive is the one that I'm sitting in right now, 61.6. This is the only one that's capable of unleashing the 576 horsepower on this vehicle, so I'm super excited to take this for a spin. We're going to start with checking the turning radius of this vehicle right here in this. Turn the steering wheel all the way to the right, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a quarter as far as the parking spaces. So just about the same as a lot of the mid-size sedans or SUVs. Now another thing that I also like to check on these vehicles is the sturdiness and how much of a body roll it has. Now this one has a different suspension, differently tuned suspension than you'll see on the regular GT line or any of the other EV6s. So let's take a quick peek, and we're going to do some twists and turns and see of how stiff it is. Oh wow, very nice. It doesn't translate any of those leans into the cabin. I still feel very much in control of it. Now, one thing to check out is off-the-line acceleration. I want to put it in the GT mode, and I don't have much room in here, so certainly I'm going to try to do it on the road. I'll put it in the GT mode, and let's accelerate. Whoa. Wow, this is quick. It's a lot quicker than one would anticipate driving a Kia. Not quite as quick as the Tesla Model X Plaid Edition that I've recently tested, but it is in the supercar category. So when you turn it into the GT mode, the screen, the background of it turns green, neon green, the same color as we've seen all over this vehicle as far as the accents, the sporty accents. All right, let's do the half throttle, if we can do such thing as a half throttle in here. Yeah, very nice. I love the visibility of it. The way that this vehicle is designed with this huge windshield in front and the big, nice size windows on both sides, it's really, really good. You can see everywhere. And I do prefer the white background on the screens rather than the traditional black background with the purple icons on it. I think I like these better, makes it for that more airy, light look. Okay, ready? Let's go. 65. This is an incredibly quick vehicle. Now, if you don't want to use all of that power, you can get it out of the GT mode and put it in normal mode, and it definitely tones down. Now I'm going to do this similar acceleration in the regular mode, and we'll see, because that's going to limit that horsepower to, I think it's 320 or so, which the regular EV6 gets. Let's see how much different it's going to be. Let's go. Well, it's still quick, but definitely not as quick as you see in the GT mode. GT mode will give you that sensation like on the roller coaster, basically, in your stomach. Yeah, you won't get that on the regular mode. Definitely very, very fast. A lot of fun, too. Oh, here, I didn't even realize that this has my favorite feature, that is that blind spot video monitor that displays in the screen. As soon as you turn the signal, it shows you whether something is coming in the right or left hand side, depending on which side you turn your signal on. So different modes. So this is definitely an aggressive vehicle if you want it to be, but you can definitely tone it down going to eco. Even sport mode is not as aggressive, doesn't give you that horsepower, and of course the eco is going to be the more range saving one. Well, this is definitely a very cool vehicle and definitely deserves a thumb up or 2 thumbs up, but there's one thing that we definitely need to talk about, and that is the range. Now, for those of you with the range anxiety, this vehicle only gets about 206 miles range, which is less than Tesla Model Y Performance or Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. Now, if you're planning for a lot of cross-country trips, this might not be a perfect solution for you. However, one thing to mention is that it is charging the fastest out of them all. So if you have the DC fast charger with the 800 volt architecture, it can charge in just 18 minutes from about 10 to about 90%, which is a lot faster than the Tesla Model Y. So, I mean, it depends. It depends for your purpose of this vehicle and what do you need to use it for. Overall, the styling is awesome. The drive is awesome. The design, in my opinion, and I know it's very subjective, is great too. So I'll give it 2 thumbs up, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you being a part of the Carguy family. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, well, here's your chance. Hit that little red subscribe button at the bottom of this video, hit that like, and make sure you hit that little bell notification button so you won't miss any of the content that's coming out. And I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.